Aphelios, always excited about it. Maybe other people aren't as much, but Nocturne top lane. You say stuff, I'm gonna pro build what it does, because I don't know.
All right, so honestly, I've seen a lot of crazy different things. Because like, I've seen Vedius play the top lane Nocturne. It usually runs into a lot of problems when I play with him. You see, Nocturne has a lot of wave pushing tools.
Did you try to call it champion Vedius?
I did call the champion Vedius. Sometimes you get confused when Nocturne's in the game. So because of his passive that gives him, you know, that AoE cleave around him as well as the Q, it's very easy to push waves on the Nocturne, but Nocturne doesn't really have a natural escape to get away. So if you're naturally pushing waves in the top lane, you have to be very smart about when you do it, because with an Aatrox there and a Gragas, there is CC, there is ability to be ganked. That being said, when he does get into extended fights, especially with that lethal tempo, because he breaks the attack speed cap, he gets so much, and also when he's standing on top of his darkness trail, he gets a ton of bonus AD. That becomes really, really powerful in extended trades against virtually any champion.
Now I have to see if Bwipo's prepared.
And Vedius taught me all of that.
There you go.
I'm being honest, guys.
So surprisingly, Nocturne top lane has been played before, and apparently it's 2-0 in European history.
Broke.
So undefeated.
So I have another like big brain strategy here for the Nocturne, and it's not as an Aatrox counter. This is hold that thought.
Getting engaged on here. Severum just going to heal him right back up, though. That was definitely not the trade that they wanted on the bottom side of the map.
It's a great segue, though, for us to take us into the bot lane, because Nocturne ultimate as a counter to Aphelios. Aphelios, land that Calibrum ult, land that Calibrum Q. He gets infinite auto attack range, but as soon as darkness comes down, he can't see him anymore.
Yeah.
Deny the autos.
And now Razork is getting in, though. This is what we were talking about. Gragas not going to win out on a lot of these duels. The smite comes over. Razork just going to be happy for the Gromp. That's going to be his first camp taken, but will deny Selfmade second. And is he going to be willing to chase down to the Wolves here? Looks like the answer is yes.
Yeah, because Razork just wants to buy space for his Nocturne. This is what I was sort of talking about, right? You know, Nocturne wants to be pushing, bot lane level 2 all in.
Another engage. Braum immediately going to use the wall there. Onslaught now coming out. Denyk taking the bad end of that trade, but Hylissang getting chunked down, and Bvoy still very healthy. Repeated aggressive trading here from the Misfits bot lane.
Yeah, you do get to see right there how the Aphelios Braum combo works. Aphelios gets a bunch of attacks out in a very brief span of time, instantly proccing that Braum passive on towards Denyk. Denyk lucky he had the Aftershock up to try and soak up a bit of that damage. But now you're just going to see, I believe, Razork continue to try and track Selfmade and make sure they can't punish top lane.
Flash in, he goes immediately in onto DanDan. DanDan couldn't spell shield there because he's not level 3 yet, and Bwipo's now on the chase. Nocturne in the solo lane, doesn't have the Umbral dash, but now it's Razork on the bottom side. Rekkles is going to find his hand. That's going to be first blood, and this is bad. Extended fights with Aphelios are never going to go your way. Rekkles looking for the follow-up, looking for the CC, the stun is there. Razork's neck on the menu. Rekkles, is he going to fish for it? The lockdown is coming just a few seconds away. Can he finish it? Calibrum won't connect. Whoa! The patience and the kill coming through from Rekkles.
Holding on to it right there. The kill goes down. That's 2 onto Rekkles. Massive win for him. And now DanDan with the big trade in the top lane. That's so much damage onto Bwipo. Bwipo should be able to TP back into this lane, though, and make up for it. But Fnatic have jumped out to a massive early lead.
Nemesis getting aggressive there as well. But as you said, DanDan earns the TP to get back into the top lane and win out on that trade. Bwipo will be forced to respond with one of his own, most likely. But Aphelios 2-0 start, that is going to be very oppressive.
Especially because it starts out with a straight 2v2 kill. I mean, Razork sees Selfmade. Selfmade's only level 2. This should be a one fight for Misfits, but the double Braum stun going onto both champions at the same time, on top of Rekkles holding onto the Gravitum gun right here, you know? I believe he was able to burst through his secondary weapon, so he has that CC, which is just so incredibly powerful, and then he just yoinks him. Yoinks him with it. He held it that entire time.
It's about a 10-second cooldown early, so he uses it the first time, and then the 3.5-second decaying slow, as long as that's on you, so for 3.5 seconds, you can reactivate at any time. Well played, well spaced, and that's the thing you have to respect, I think, on Aphelios. When he's low on ammo on a gun, it means he's going to get to cycle through 3 abilities very quickly in any given fight, and he's a lot more of a threat, especially when one of the guns is Severum, which isn't, honestly, the highest DPS early on in the game.
Yeah.
But now
This is going to be bad news, right? Because, of course, now Denyk doesn't have his flash either. Still holds on to the Ignite, but this was a bot lane where I think if you got Lee Sin down there early, you were expecting to get kills. We talked about Misfits knowing that Fnatic, their tendency was, we will first pick Aphelios if he is open. Misfits said, let's get some dive in there. We'll put together the Wombo combo. We have the MF Leona. We have the Nocturne level 6. When Nocturne hits level 6, he's supposed to roam into mid lane or into bot lane, especially with this CC setup to find a kill. Now that Aphelios has a BF sword and 2 kills under his belt, he can just turn it around on you, especially if he has, you know, one of, like his DPS gun, right? The white gun, you can just drop it on the ground and you just can't fight into that.
No, very difficult. Terrifying champion with a lead, but for now, Razork trying to set up, trying to find an opportunity to gank. No level 6 for DanDan quite yet, and that's important because you talked about a lot of these windows. You talked about the opportunities for Misfits, but most of those opportunities come around level 6. As a result, they're kind of just waiting at this stage. DanDan with a lot of healing on the Umbral Blades just to make sure that he can sustain in this top lane matchup, but for now, no greater advantage. Sadly for Bvoy and Denyk, significant disadvantage here in terms of XP. Nemesis, though, getting pulled in. Febiven.
Look, bot lane and dive's happening too, but top lane.
Bwipo now stepping back, wants to turn this one. The fear is still kicking down. DanDan is going to be able to spell shield. That was clean. Can he make it out to safety? The shield is coming in. The TP being followed up. They're going to fall. There's too many fights across the map. That's going to be 2 on the top side. Instantaneously, the double kill for Nemesis and another one on the bottom side for Rekkles. Fnatic are spilling blood everywhere on this map.
Yeah, Fnatic just taking over. It started in the bottom lane. Rekkles turning on the wave clear, setting up that massive triple wave stack. Not only getting the kill onto Bvoy, but now making sure that he's down 20 CS and Infernal Drake on the top of it as well. And 1 TP later, Nemesis has his double 2. It's a disaster for
This is something that Fnatic as a team have always been fantastic at in the recent years, Ender, is if you overcommit on a play and they have a teleport, they're going to be there right when it matters. They're always able to turn those moments around, and insult to injury is the fact that the bot lane play also went in their favor.
Well, it's also really important to know that... oh, no. I was just about to put... Oh, God, no.
We're going to wait.
Vedius just put his...
Ladies and gentlemen, a special desk is a special guest is joining us at the desk. It's your one and only.
Oh, I see. Vedius is showing up because Nocturne's already died in the laning phase. I can't...
You can't hear it. It's not
talking to my mic.
Hey guys, listen.
No!
Okay guys, listen. I know this doesn't look good for the Nocturne top lane right now, okay? I appreciate that he might be struggling, but I just want you to know that the champion does very well into this matchup, and, as Ender described, can in fact win the 1v1. The problem is the jungle intervention, and so if we could just remove them, you would all see how good Nocturne top lane actually is.
They nerfed the jungle. They're not supposed to do anything. That's what Ender told me.
I'm just don't blame the pick. Blame the players. Okay?
Wow. All right, I think that's your cue. Goodbye. Thank you, Vedius, for your support. That was lovely. Thank you, audience, too. Vedius, ladies and gentlemen, a true class act. Don't blame the pick, blame the players.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I have a sub-4.
That's going to be the all-in. They're going to immediately go down. Diane's going to find a bit of extra damage. But DanDan, is he going to make it out? Yes! Tower shot will not be enough, burning a lot of resources, but the dive coming through.
Uh-oh. Selfmade on the way. He does not have his ultimate. Oh, he's dead.
They're going to try to lock him up. They're going to try to knock him down. Lee Sin's still going to fall. He's going to try to get out, but he can't. 1-for-1. Tower takes him down in the end, and now Misfits are fighting back. This is what you want to see.
They're about to take this 2v3. Oh, if that Q landed. But they're still going to take it.
It's going to go in. That's going to be the onslaught. That's going to be a ton of damage to there as well. Rekkles now on a rampage.
That's like one of the best single target DPS combos too right there. He has the red gun and the white gun. Just get melee range on top of them. Instantly procs that Braum passive. See the dive one more time because Nemesis does try to stay alive, right? With the ultimate coming around. I believe DanDan actually got the spell shield to be able to block that one out, and Razork takes 2 tower shots. Had he been able to dodge away from one of those, it would have meant his life. But then Selfmade just gets really, really over-aggressive.
But just really well timed for Denyk. Like, setting this kill up. Obviously, Razork, maybe a little too hungry for that kill there to make it a 1-for-1, but that could have been disaster if Leona did not intervene.
Well, we didn't want to show what Aphelios just did?
Yeah, Aphelios pushed Q.
That seemed really fun interaction for DanDan.
He was already dead.
Guys, it's a cover-up, I'm telling you. They don't want you to see. They don't want you to know.
The nerfs are coming. We've seen them. They may have called them adjustments this patch, but we all know how it was adjusted. And now we check in on the game state, and the thing is that as great as that play looked for Misfits, you know, 2 for 1 in the end for their favor, it's still a fat gold lead for the side of Fnatic. Almost 3K in their favor, all 3 of their respective carries very far ahead of their counterparts.
So Razork, I wonder if he tries to look for a really nasty flank here. He has flash up, so he could potentially ward hop flash behind a Rekkles if they wanted to set it up. But he doesn't really have a vision. He doesn't know, you know, if Selfmade could be in the area. And it looks like without that knowledge, they're going to back away from this one.
Hearing a lot of communication on the Misfits side. One of the luxuries of being close and being in the studio, you can always hear when the communication gets a bit frantic, but it looks like waiting for cooldowns. DanDan's ult's coming up, and that's kind of our cue. When he has ult, when he has wave prio, kind of expect him to roam. The downside, he's level 6 to Bwipo's level 9.
He did just come back. It's really interesting Razork go up into this top lane to find this. Obviously the wave is pushing out, so Bwipo's trying to get aggressive.
Yeah, but he sees it. He knows it's coming. He knows it's a bad trade for DanDan, and now Denyk's on the way in. Bwipo going to tank a lot of pressure here. They're still trying to finish this one off. Bwipo's just going to cut through the entire team. Goodbye to DanDan, and the rest of the team has to turn tail and run.
So Bwipo just 1v3'd casually.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can say what you want about Bwipo's Swain or his Rengar, but his GP and his Aatrox are scary. You have to respect these picks.
And at the same time, Fnatic just take over the rest of the map. You know, Nemesis bot lane taking the tower, mid lane almost goes down there with the Herald. I'm trying to like rewind my memory, see like why when DanDan's ultimate is up, are we going to attack his lane? And now Razork in a lot of trouble, and no, it's Tilly.
Overstays his welcome, maybe can take him to safety. Hylissang now wants to back up, but no, Febiven perfect timing there as he comes out of the stopwatch. But Denyk now going to move in. Selfmade goes gold. Gets a lot of cooldowns, a good block in the body slam coming in. That's going to be Othy coming in from Misfortune. Selfmade? No, not enough.
Okay, I really wish that Razork had let Febi run that one down. Selfmade, I mean, he was going to run into a tower anyways. It wasn't going to be an execute, but now it's a dive in the top lane.
Talked about
that's a 3-level difference.
Oh, that's so much damage. He can't spell shield enough. Rekkles just walks in, onslaughts him down, and the lead is too massive. 0-4-1, 55 CS Nocturne to 110 on the side of Bwipo. This is just not a fair fight.
Honestly, I can't help but feel bad for Razork. Like, now he knows what it feels like.
You can't do that to people, Bender.
So I do it with Vedius. Vedius plays Nocturne in solo lane. Should I keep explaining the joke?
No, it's fine.
I'm a jungler.
It's good. It's good that you took the time to explain it because people thought you were hard flaming anyone else. Oh. There it is. Now the game has fallen, sadly, disastrously out of control for the Misfits side. We can expect maybe 1 or 2 more Nocturne ultimates, but he's so underleveled that it's not quite the threat that it once was, and Razork now has to run for the hills, pull back. Just barely not going to connect, trying to kick back, but Nemesis goes in, getting a lot of cooldowns there, but has to trade his flash to do so. And in the meantime, the People's Champ himself is up in the top lane, solo taking a tower.
I just want to check in on that gold one more time, because right now, 7,000 in the pockets of Rekkles. You can see that is more than twice as much as DanDan. Ouch. You can see that Hylissang has more gold than DanDan.
Also ouch.
Ouch.
That's brutal.
And the worst part about this is like, what? No one will ever have the courage to play solo lane Nocturne again, right?
Yeah, because you flamed it to oblivion.
Yeah, it's over. Sorry, this was the one shot we had.
Well, and the thing is now, the good news is Febiven is farming. Febiven is doing okay. He's just behind the 3 primary carries. The bad news is Rekkles is deleting this tower, as Aphelios can do.
So that's the thing with the white gun right there, the crescendum. All right, sweet. The closer you stand to your enemy, the faster your attack speed is, because you know when it returns, you get auto again. It's kind of like Draven's axes in a way.
Not at all, but okay.
You know, you pick it up and then you.
Yeah,
if
sure.
he only ever had one axe that he could throw.
Yeah, if he couldn't also just regularly auto attack, but yeah, sure. it's you know, similar.
I'm trying to think of a way to explain it, because like
tennis and football
the champ's
both
just
involve
got
balls. You're
so
right, that's
much
true.
going on. He's got so much going on.
It's true.
It can be confusing sometimes. Like when he picks up his Runeance Hurricane, he just throws out 3 bullets every auto.
Yeah. All right. That's a big number, 1,560 to 360.
How big?
I mean, that's 1,200 gold difference.
Yeah. I did the math. I checked it.
I appreciate you.
Took me a second.
Whoop, that's going to be the max range slow. Febiven's now going to be in trouble. Does manage to get out to safety. A parting gift from Bvoy as he throws that ultimate out. But once again, Misfits fishing for scraps. Maybe they can find the pick. Maybe Hylissang can get kicked out there. The kick's going to go through. Leona's going to get the follow. Bvoy's there. He doesn't have the ultimate anymore, but maybe they can get this one done. Sadly, Rekkles is incredibly powerful. If they try to keep this fight going, it might just turn against him. But Bvoy has the confidence to go
out of range
and get the kill. Denyk. DanDan's here as well. The ultimate's already been used. Denyk needs to make it out to FG because here comes Nemesis. As Nemesis finds a way into this backline, the fight will simply end. Denyk going to go back. He's going to be the sacrificial Leona to keep his team alive. But Bwipo wants to keep the fight going. Fnatic going to have to walk away. But overall, I think an okay exchange for the side of Misfits.
Yeah, I mean, Misfits were definitely looking at 2 kills right there. But DanDan, without the level 11, he's out of range for the ultimate. He was trying to get into the backline. That could have been 2 kills.
Definitely the wrong play. Instantly dead. DanDan is next. Are you kidding me? That was terrible. Fnatic just wiped the floor with Misfits, and you don't own any part of the map, Misfits. I need to make that clear because you cannot walk into your jungle like that. And if you hear the crowd, maybe not into the audience either.
The whole map belongs to Fnatic. They just let the peasants sometimes come, you know, farm the land, farm the camps, but no, not here. Denyk, he tries to get this turnaround, and again, at the start, it's good, right? They combo it. Razork gets that double kick, and then DanDan tries to come in, and he's out of range. And then Bvoy has to flash forward to get the kill, barely unable to finish off Hylissang, and that's where the turnaround comes on through, because then all of a sudden, Bwipo, level 11, enters the fight. Nemesis as well can show up, and with Hylissang just barely tagging that final Q, they get the kill.
Then they're fine. Then they walk back in, and that's the part we don't see, and that's the part that I think made us both quite angry, is they walked back in for no reason. And now Bvoy potentially in trouble again. That's going to be all the caliber was going to mark. That's going to half health him. If that had hit one more stack, I think, because of blows, he would have certainly gone down.
I've seen crazier clips. I thought maybe
that's true. 2 items for Rekkles, though. No IE quite yet. We got bits and pieces on the side of Bvoy. No Essence Reaver, no Infinity Edge. But all of Misfits remaining grouped, hoping to pick off 1 or 2 members. But quite frankly, they're running out of options. TP coming in on the back side.
That's a double TP.
That's going to be Bwipo.
From both sides.
Nemesis is here as well. There are not enough spell shields to go around. Nemesis pulls the entire team back in. Rekkles, where's the ulti going to be? That's going to be 1. Can they find the follow-up? Bwipo chasing Febiven. Sped up by the phase rush. Will make it out to safety, but Rekkles ult not available quite yet.
The crazy thing is because there's no neutral objectives, Fnatic just keep forcing fights down mid lane. They're working, so keep taking them by all means, but there's nothing they can convert it into. They've already taken all the inner towers except for the bottom lane, so it is just rinse, repeat, fight, get kills, get summoner spells, take all of the enemy jungle, deny that completely, and make sure it's Rekkles, it's Bwipo, it's Nemesis, these carries picking up all the enemy minions.
And this is such a different pace of game, Andrew, than our previous game.
Thank God.
This is...
I will take this any day, Drakos.
I mean, I love it too. Look back at this fight, obviously Bwipo going in. You've got Nemesis on the backside too. The only sad thing is Rekkles is so far away, he can't finish off all these kills, but...
Yeah, it's unfortunate too. I can't quite tell what Rekkles' second hand right there was.
Chakra.
Yeah.
So he's hoping to get
I think he had one last shot of Infernum before, but he wasn't able to get in range to pop down the massive AoE damage to combo it with Nemesis. Big ol' pull in with the ultimate. I don't know what fight you call it. It's kind of like a... Wait, everyone used to call it like the Shockwave, right? Because it was like Diana had Shockwave on her E, now she has on her R. She's playing against Orianna.
It's called Moonfall, clearly.
Moonfall.
Which I knew definitely before you asked that question.
That's the
one. It was just letting you run around in circles.
Like there's an effect.
Yes.
Pull everything in.
Yeah, like the moon's gravity.
No, like a...
Like a shockwave?
Yeah, but it's something.
Black hole?
No. I mean, that's like what Misfits see when they look top lane in this game.
You're right, dude, come on. Let live the man. He tried his special pick. It did not work. And it's tough because now he's got, you know, you're going for the Ravenous Hydra, but it's really just the Tiamat proc that you want to keep pushing. Misfits have got 1, maybe 2 opportunities for a sick wombo combo before this game actually just ends. Tower is going to break. Fnatic are pushing in. But this should just be the
Oh my lord!
Did engage coming in from Aphelios. You fall behind against the champion, you lose the game. It's that simple because Bwipo is dunking down. And the fountain is really the only thing stopping Fnatic from killing the entire Misfits team at this point in the game. A disastrous game for this Misfits lineup. And Fnatic showing us what they can do with Selfmade on the lineup.
This way for some minions now. Misfits, what are you gonna do?
Go all in is what it looks like, but they can't get anything done. Rekkles is just doing too much damage. He's untouched, and when you ignore an Aphelios, the game also ends. Razork gonna go back. He will save his own life, but Fnatic will end the game. Less than 20 minutes.